All right, so this is a new series that I want to start. This will be a shorter video than some of my other ones. I'm trying to keep them a little bit shorter so I don't ramble on too much. It'll be a series of tips for 20s. I want to get my thoughts and experiences and other people's thoughts and experiences. So you'll see interviews, maybe in the comment section as well. You can add in your thoughts on whatever topic I think would be good for those that are entering their 20s or mid 20s, whatever the case may be, in order to try to pass on more ideas, experiences, and wisdom. Today, I wanted to go over tips for being broke, which I feel like when you get to your late teens, early 20s, that is a state of being that you get very used to. And it it's one thing for people to give you advice, but living through it and experiencing it is a completely different thing. So I got a lot of advice from a lot of different people. When I was growing up, I moved out when I was when I was 17. I think I turned 17 maybe like a month or so afterwards. I got a lot of advice, a lot of people that were around me to assist me. Didn't always take everybody's advice, but I've learned from a lot of my mistakes, and I learned from the mistakes of others. So the first tip that I wanted to go over is about food, and it's about primarily wasting food. When I was coming up, my major problem, and a problem that I still kind of have today, even though I'm married and 10 years later from when I first moved out, is wasting food and wasting money on buying food. So the two biggest tips that I've been told and that I've experienced is the first one that a friend of mine, a friend of my father's, that gave me was when you're looking into your pantry or your fridge, you should be able to see everything that you have. And it was a weird concept when he told me that because I grew up, it was a family, but four of us? Yeah, four of us, but there's three of us primarily that were always living in the house. And along with my mother, my grandparents, uncle as well. But we had, cabinets full of food, pantry full of food, refrigerator packed full of food. But it is a lot more beneficial just when you open up your pantry or open up your cabinet or your refrigerator that you can see everything. And the point that was being made to me was because if you can't, you're going to end up wasting a lot of food. I can't tell you how many times today, when I first got married, or even still sometimes today, like I said before, that food will go bad. It's in the back of the fridge or it's shoved in a drawer in the fridge somewhere, and those perishables, vegetables, fruit, whatever, get moldy, go bad, or leftovers that you put into the back of the fridge and it's from like a month ago, and that's food that you just wasted. And not only just the groceries that you bought, but also, well, I don't have anything to eat, let me go ahead and buy something. So now you're paying twice more or less. But if you can just easily see everything, get easy access to everything in your fridge or in your cabinets, yes, it requires you to prepare more food or to cook more food, but that is a price to pay when you're trying to save money. Now, unless it's like your pantry. Now, same person, similar advice, same concept of just being able to see everything in there, because I also can't tell you how many times I've gone grocery shopping and I've bought something that I already had. I think that I don't have tomato sauce at the crib. I go back to the house, now I have 3 cans of tomato sauce. Or I think that I don't have beans and I buy beans from the store. So being able to see everything is very easy to say, okay, this is what I have, this is what I don't have. I don't have to go digging through here. It can be a very quick look into the pantry, a quick look into the closet or the fridge, on top of the fridge, whatever that you have, and then you can keep it moving like that. So I felt like that was something that was told to me when I was younger. I tried my best to apply it, and now that I'm older, I'm doing it a lot better now that I'm exiting my 20s, of making sure that you don't waste food. Also, on the concept of buying food, because I spend a lot of money on food myself still. Plan a day for when you're going to go out and buy fast food or go out to buy anything. Very good advice from the same person as well. Nobody wants to eat homemade sandwiches every day. Nobody wants to eat spaghetti every day. So try to plan those things out. If you're gonna have leftovers for Monday and Tuesday, make it a purpose. Do it. What's the word I want to think of? Mindfulness or intention. Do it with intention. On Wednesday or on Friday, make that your day that you're gonna treat yourself to buy yourself some lunch. You can say it's for the fact that you deserve it, that you did well, because you want to be nice to yourself, whatever you want to say. But the idea is that if you don't do it with intention or with purpose, you're going to just mindlessly, man, I feel hungry, I feel like having a burger. Let me go ahead and just buy a burger. But you're going to do that every single day. You're going to keep doing that, and you don't want to do that. It's going to be a waste of money. You're going to look back like, man, I spent $20 today, and I did that for 5 days straight while I was at work. So try to make it a purpose. If you can thug it out for the first couple of days in a week, or a lot of people hate Monday. So what you could do is make your Monday something worthwhile. Go out and buy yourself lunch and dinner on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you go ahead and have leftovers. Whatever you can do to psych yourself up to get yourself into that mindset of not just bologna and cheese sandwiches every day, because that's terrible. You can't stick to that habit. Nobody wants to do that. But still, with the mindset of I want to save some money, I want to eat at home. I don't want to waste money. I don't want to waste food. Point number two. I feel like I stuck on point number one for a little while, but I feel like I spend a lot of money on food, so I have a lot of thoughts and experiences on that. Point number two, though, is don't be ashamed of your financial situation. When I was coming up, it bothered me that I couldn't do a lot of the things that my friends could, but the difference is a lot of my friends lived at home with their parents, and I did not. My family was 8 to 9 hours away. I was either with a roommate or by myself. Granted, my bills were still a lot lower than they are today, but it's just the difference. When we all going out and they're saying, hey, we can go to this restaurant, I'm like, that's kind of expensive, or they want to go out every single weekend. I couldn't always do that. And that's something that bothered me personally. So I try to keep up with my friends, not saying that they were bad friends or bad associates, but you still try to always just keep up with people like that. It's not good. It's not a good habit. So don't be ashamed of that. Have no fear into saying to your friends or to your family, whomever, I can't do that right now. We can go to the house and have some food, or hey, we can go hang out, but I can't do all the extracurricular stuff after we hoop or after we go play football or soccer or whatever the case may be. I have other stuff to do, or I can't do that. You're not asking for a handout. You're not looking for somebody to say, oh, I'll treat you. It's just letting people know, hey, I'm trying to save up. I'm trying to cut back. Whatever you have to do, you don't have to tell everybody your business, but you don't have to be ashamed of that. Point number three is to plan well. And this is something I'm still actively doing even today as I'm making this video. I have to go grocery shopping. And part of my not planning and then me trying to make up for a plan, I made sure that I bought myself and my wife enough food from yesterday or the day before we could have leftovers and we wouldn't starve. But I really don't, it's my day off. I really don't feel like cooking today. So I'm going to buy all the groceries that we need, and then I'll probably prep and cook things tomorrow and then throughout the week. But I have food for today. But something that I'm still learning today, even getting out of my 20s, and something that if I could go back and really hammer it home with my 17-year-old, 19-year-old self, is the planning ahead of having your meals and planning ahead with your bills. No, and even now that I'm at point number three, I'm still talking about food. That goes to show you how much money you will spend on food. But just planning ahead in general. To leave that topic, I know that I've learned recently too. Make sure that you have written down when all of your bills are due. I have a friend that I interviewed on my channel not too long ago, and she had a spreadsheet of all her bills. I think she had about 30 plus different itemized things on her bills list, on her budget list, of when they were going to come out, how much they were going to come out down to the penny. I was not, and I am not that detailed, but I do have all my major bills all coming out on a spreadsheet so that I can know when things are due, when I have to have the money for it, even in my Google Calendar, have all those things lined up. And that is very helpful because, God forbid, which is probably what happen at some point, you don't have enough money to pay a certain bill. It'd be good to know which bill can you not pay and it still not get cut off. For example, if you don't pay your electric bill this month, will they hit you with a late fee and you can pay it again next month? Or will they, if you miss the payment, will they just cut it off? If that's the bill that will get cut off immediately, if you don't pay for it, then you might want to pay that bill. Some bills can lapse over to the next month. You might get a $20 late fee or a $40 late fee, but if you happen to be down and out that month, that'd be something good to know. You might want to figure things like that out. Whether or not it's through calling or through trial and error, if you want to play that game, you can. But planning ahead helps. Obviously, you don't want to go through life not paying your bills. The reality is that a lot of us don't always have money to pay our bills every single month or every single time that things are due because life is very hard and the economy is very terrible. So plan ahead. Plan your meals ahead the best that you can. Most people in real life are not these super productivity wizards, but any type of planning can make a huge difference in your life. So don't think that because you're not up here with when it comes to your planning and schedule that you might as well not even try. Some type of planning, some type of organization will help. And I've learned that through my 20s too, especially with now that I have a wife, I have a partner. I have to make sure that Like for myself, I'm the cook. She can cook. I just enjoy cooking more, so I cook. But along with that, the responsibility is, what are we going to eat every single day? I have to make sure that something is prepared and cooked or here every single day. So that's a responsibility that you have to have. You have to plan ahead. The fourth tip for being broke in your 20s is staying positive. I have a very good friend that hates when I say, nah, I'm broke. I always get hit with the whole, it's a mindset thing. You have to say that you're rich. You have to say that you have money. And that's great, except for my bank account doesn't say that. So I definitely agree with the mindset of being positive. My motto is to be realistically optimistic. So in reality, will I get some type of settlement and get paid $10 million next month? Probably not. But could I work some overtime? Could I get a bonus? Probably. Could I cut back on a few things here or there? Can I set up a plan to pay off some debt so I can start saving money? Yes. Am I currently broke? Do I currently not have any money? Not saying right now, but yes. But will I be well off in the future? In 6 months, will I have plenty of money? In a year, will I have plenty of money? Yes. Those type of things of staying positive, knowing that um, this is not my permanent state of being. This is just a temporary part of my life. In your 20s, everything's pretty new. Things can be kind of scary and very overwhelming. I would say overwhelming more than scary, if anything. But just understanding that this is just a temporary time in your life. So don't be too overwhelmed and too caught up in the fact that I don't have enough money to live. You keep working hard, you do your best, keep researching, and just try to be a little bit better today than you were yesterday. And things will continue to compound and grow, and you'll be better. But continue to look forward and not be so overwhelmed about where you are right now. The fifth tip, which is kind of a two-parter, is be resourceful and don't be lazy. I've met a couple friends in my life, and it's actually a couple, that two of the most resourceful people I've ever met in my entire life. Of knowing, I didn't even know that what's the name of the place? Plato's Closet. That you can actually take clothes there and sell clothes and get money for your clothes. I didn't. I thought that place went out of business. I didn't know that place still existed. But besides that, selling your clothes on eBay or I think it's called Poshmark or something like that. But nonetheless, just being resourceful with different ways that you can make money. I'm not telling you to do anything illegal, but figure out what can you do to make money. Whether or not it's you can stop by a pawn shop, get rid of some stuff that you don't want, call some friends up, eBay, Amazon, whatever you have to do to make some extra money if you can. I used to wash windows. I had a cleaning business. I used to wash windows and clean some smaller stores on the sides on the weekends or in the evenings to make an extra couple $100 every single month. Back when I first got married, it helped out a lot. I learned from my mother as well growing up. Very difficult times when my mother had to pawn her jewelry, and she'd go back in 2 weeks, and whenever she got paid, and buy her jewelry back from the pawn shop, to the point where um, the owner of the pawn shop and my mother knew each other first name basis. Hey, how everything's going? How are the kids? All of that. We're far beyond that now, but knowing who to talk to get certain things done, whether or not it's a friend of a friend that can work on cars, where can you go to get used car parts? What is that? Like a pick apart place? If you missing a door handle in your car, missing a rim, or you need a new tire, knowing which junkyards and things like that to go to get parts for your cars, various things like that. But try your best to be resourceful. Ask people, talk to people. But along with being resourceful, you can't be lazy. You can't just sit around and just be upset and the fact that, oh my God, I want to do all these fun and great things, but I don't have any bread. You have to get up and do something about it. And at times it can be depressing, which can cause you to be lazy, or at least to appear to be lazy, even though you may not actually be lazy. You may just be depressed because life is falling apart and you're too poor to live. But you can still pick yourself up out of that and just keep going. Kind of like with point number 4, to try to be a little bit better than you were yesterday. Do a little bit more than you did yesterday. And that can help to compound. People talk about compound interest when it comes to savings and investing all the time. It's the same thing even without money when it comes to your everyday life. You keep trying to put it in a little bit extra every single day, and things get better and better and better. So talk to people, do research, and then take all the information and don't get paralysis by analysis. Go actually take the information that you're learning, even if it's just a little bit, and just do that thing this week. Do that thing this month. From this video, if there's like one tip, you know what, I like that one tip. Just take that one thing and just apply that for the next couple of days, couple of weeks, or a month or two, and just see how things go. And once you've gotten that down, it becomes a natural part of your life. Just keep adding things, and don't become too overwhelmed trying to pick up too many things all at once. Because on Monday you got to go clock in, and you have to start the grind all over again. So things get better. Try to save your money. Try not to waste your money, especially on food. I'm about to throw my shoes on, go grocery shopping before my wife gets home so I can get all this stuff prepared and I can get back to playing the game. I appreciate y'all for coming to tune in. Make sure that you check out some more interviews and more, I wouldn't even call it self-help videos. I guess it'd be self-development videos or just conversational videos. I like going over all kinds of different topics by myself or just talking with other people, my friends, and just people I may meet on the street, strangers. I hope that you find it helpful. If you want more content, extra content that's not just on YouTube, you can go to my Patreon as well. I have more full-length interviews and topics, extra things that you may not find on YouTube. I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon.